All right, we're live. Yeah, we're live. Hi! Welcome to Grave New World, our Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG. I have with us tonight, as usual, our lovely players here. With new player, Bison. Let's pick on him first.
Oh
Who
no,
are you? What do you do?
I'm Bison. I do stuff, mostly here. You can find me on Tuesday nights running the Cyberpunk Red game, Carnage Heights. And on Saturdays, I should probably look at my camera when I'm saying these things. Saturdays, I play Sid Brimlock on our trauma-laden game, Dead to Rights.
Awesome. Let's just go in order. Eddie. Well, zoom over.
Hi, my name is Eddie Elfman. I'm an Edmonton-based voice actor. Slowly but surely, Canadians will take over this and every other episode on Dirty 20 Gaming. You've been warned. The real manifest destiny, eh? If you want to find me, you can find me on my Linktree and all the other social medias. And I post about my life and any ongoing projects. Besides that, maybe give Eddie Elfman a search on Amazon and download a book on Audible and give that a nice little review. That would just make my day. Just absolutely make my day. Anyways, moving on.
Mena!
I muted myself on my computer instead of on my mic, which is very unusual for me. Hello, everybody. I am Mena Queen. You can find me here every single Monday night playing the Slayer to our lovely Scooby gang of players and characters, Ash Lexington. You can also find me in our Discord occasionally. Sometimes work burns me out to irreparable repairs until Mondays come around. But I am on our Discord. So come join us over there. It is a beautiful community of people. And that's pretty much all I'm doing right now. On to the person who shall not be perceived ever. Back Kyle.
Yeah. Hi, folks. I'm Bat Kyle. Friendliness and neighborhood are subjective, but potentially true. That aside, you can find me here on Mondays playing everybody's favorite stoner half demon oracle, Jacob King. Favorite is also probably subjective. Outside of that, you're not really going to find me anywhere because I work way too much and I'm tired. I mod for certain streamers, and if I mod for you, you know I bully you out of love. And then let's go on to our director.
That's me. I am Wayward Knight, aka Chris. I am a Detroit area artist who is trying to sell her stuff online if I can get the website to work. There are all my links. I also play Delilah Stillwater here on our Saturday night game, Dead to Rights, as well. This is boding well for the game tonight, guys.
None of us can speak clearly. It's great.
I think that's all of my information. Let's recap last time. I believe we started. Where did we start? It's mixed up in my head. Wait, I have notes. Guys, this is great. This is how we do it.
We are professionals.
I want everybody to know that my notes consist of many things, but one is this tiny little sticky note that I keep on the bottom of my computer. If it will focus, it says Ash HP 81. And
I'm sorry,
sits.
81.
Uh-huh.
I was at 25 last episode, and I have like don't die, like the feature, hard to kill.
Yeah. No. So this
Ash
just sits at the bottom of my monitor for notes.
Ash is 2 jacks.
It is 71.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
I guess I'm good for a normie.
For a white hat. Anyway, so we started off picking up after Daniel left Julian's office for the night, and Julian urged Cheryl and Ash to basically keep laying low and go home for the night. Ash and Cheryl Ash and Cheryl went home, and Ash had a nightmare. I think Ye went home too. Ye was there. Ash had a nightmare again where they were again in that weird white void, and they were confronted by Allison, of all people, Allison being their dad's new girlfriend. She spoke cryptically, and Ash called on their friends to back them up, and their friends tried, but everything was fuzzy. Right before Ash could ask the all-important question on her mind, Allison disappeared, and the dream shifted to something with like Mario and Harry Potter or something weird. The next day, Ash texted the group about the dream. Ye said that he'd had a vision and wouldn't be able to take part in the next day's activities. So what Ash did was Ash went to classes for the first time in like a week, I think. And Cheryl skipped classes to go on an information hunt. Cheryl did, was it like finance digging and book research on, oh yeah, Cheryl went to find pictures of John and Delia Ellis, I believe it was, and then discovered that the books from back then had been fudged, and they may have been receiving additional funding that they were not owed after they took sabbatical. Danny came back.
You said that it was a specific company that was funding, that provided some strange information. Is there any chance that company name was ordained or figured out, that I could write down in my notes?
We'll get to that.
All right.
I see you, Cheryl. Danny came back that night and presented him with a book that talked about the knives that they had been dealing with across this entire time, revealing that these knives, when there were 3 of them, and when they were fused together, they created one knife that imbued the user with the powers of the Slayer. And he also revealed that it was this knife that would be the key to defeating the Ellises. As Cheryl and Ash were walking home that night, they were ambushed by a bunch of vampires, basically trying to seek revenge on Ash for Ash's rampage the other night, after they found out about Estia's death and such. A fight ensued, and they were almost cornered until a stranger on a dirt bike showed up, shot one of the vampires, and told them to run. They escaped unscathed, and confronted this stranger, this dirt bike stranger, to learn that his name was Jack Aldrich, and they went to a late night cafe to tell him about the vampires. But before we learn about that, we need to rewind a little bit. Rewind. Yay! Yay! Yay!
What?
Yay!
I don't want to.
It's the night before last.
And
you're
the
just
house.
not a creature was stirring except for your brain.
Why
Anyway.
smoke?
You are getting ready for bed. And you start to feel a pain in the back of your head. It's at that level where like you can't tell quite yet if it's a vision or just a headache. And normally visions come on fast and you're hit with just a wall of pain, but this is sort of nagging at you. And it stays like that the entire time as you get ready for bed.
Gonna pop some Excedrin just in the hopes that this isn't going to turn into something terrible. If it's a vision, this isn't going to do squat. But if it's a migraine,
You you lay down in bed, and as your head hits the pillow, it's like a bomb goes off in your skull. And you've had visions before, but this one, you have nothing to compare this level of pain to.
do I smell burnt toast?
No.
Oh, okay. It's not stroke. All right.
You begin to fade into this vision as your real life vision goes dark. And it's framed very similarly to a vision that you've had. It kind of looks like how your first vision started, when all of this weird blood shenanigans began. But it begins to focus better. You remember the first one being fuzzy. This
Very
one
fuzzy,
is
yeah.
this one is clearer, more like the visions you're used to getting. The ones that you've got, the last couple that you've gotten, have been fuzzy and vague. This one is clearer than ever. It zooms out and you can see the face of a person, the person from the original vision. It's familiar, but battered and broken. You squint your eyes. It's Danny.
I don't feel bad about seeing this.
Your perspective suddenly changes to Danny's point of view. You can feel the fear, the pain, the sadness, desperation going through his thoughts. Side of his neck stings and throbs. The woman from the original vision comes closer again, with her perfectly coiffed hair and her shapely vintage dress. This time the dim light bounces off her face a little more clearly, and you see sort of chiseled features outlined in the dark, almost silhouette. You can feel the need to speak, but your body won't let you. They must have given you something. The woman walks up to you and forces a vial of deep red liquid to your lips, lifting your head and pouring it down your throat. As it empties, flashes of people and places go through your head. A beautiful young woman in a simple dress, with similar hair, but a bright, shining smile and a ringing laugh. An older couple reading together by the window of their home. A ring in a little box in a sock drawer. The library books you checked out the other day. The taste on your tongue is vile. You splutter, nearly choking on it, but you manage to force it down the pipe that won't suffocate you. The woman smirks satisfactorily, almost excitedly, as if this was a great achievement. She says, "There, that should do it." Your eyesight goes blurry. Not in a the vision is finishing kind of way, but in a something is happening to Danny kind of way. You can feel something horrible and burning in your chest. Your stomach writhes. Your mouth is dry and raw and tastes of metal. Something feels like it's being ripped out of your chest. Then everything's still, but not empty. Then the vision actually fades, and yea, you are brought back to reality. Your head pounds, and your vision, your real life vision, is blurry as you feel like you got hit by a truck with this level of leftover migraine. And this incapacitates you for the rest of the day. So we fast forward again to the next night, the current night, where Jack, the assistant associate pastor, youth
Yes.
pastor,
Assistant associate youth pastor, the most useless job ever in any Mennonite church.
is casually discussing vampires with Cheryl and Ash. So, tell them about the vampires.
He's
Can
just
you send a text to the group? It's gonna be like, just real quick, all right, I can function again. I just lived through Danny's transformation. Kind of glad he suffered that bad. He's such a dick. But I also saw the woman's face clearer, and I think they're using their blood for this ritual because Danny seemed to pick up pieces of their memories, is what it felt like. I'm going to try and sketch out the faces I saw, and I could really go for a Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity if y'all are at like Denny's or something.
We're in the same. I rolled to see if I noticed it. So while Jack has asked that, Cheryl is under the table texting and goes, "We're in the same strip mall as Denny's. Met a stranger. Here's our location.
He's going to
They
make his
saved
way
us
there.
from the biters."
Ash will probably like feel the buzz in their pocket and like trust Cheryl to maybe handle it and talk to Jack. Well, Cheryl is under the table texting, but like half conversation, like, yeah, I'm totally paying attention. I don't know. I mean, Cheryl's actually probably really good at texting and talking at the same time. I can see that happening.
She'll let you take lead on it. There's that, like, instead of just immediately coming up with a quip, she definitely does like side eye you for a moment.
Okay. So Ash will
Take
kind of, be like, so what do you want to know?
For starters, he notices you guys, the phone's buzzing, but he doesn't appear to say anything because I rolled and I got just enough for one success because of the huge fucking bonuses I have. And he's just, it seems you guys have a better feel of things than I do. And if I'm going to be helping this community, as I've been asked, I need to know the situation, and who better to ask than the locals, right?
That's fair.
Better asked. You've been asked by who?
That was Ash's question. Was asked by who?
Mennonite Central Committee, they're the ones who told me to come out here. I was in the middle of my associate's degree. I get a phone call from a pastor I knew. Next thing I know, I'm talking to 12 people in a dark room.
Well,
That
people in
sounds very
dark
normal.
He's like, people think Mennonites are weird, but trust me, we've got nothing on the Catholics.
Sorry, that's an out of character laugh.
Yeah, Cheryl definitely kind of looks down for a little bit and just kind of does some is doing the exact same thing that Eddie's doing real quick. I'm just looking up Mennonite Central Committee. And what did they ask for help with in particular? Did they use the word vampires, or
They
was that
didn't. I was here because of the missing persons report. That young girl that got taken a few days ago. But I had no idea I was going to be dealing with the supernatural.
so they asked you to look for this young girl?
Yeah. I picked up a certain set of skills overseas, and this was something I was asked to do. Obviously, she's not the only person who went missing, and now I'm starting to see why.
Cheryl wants to read this person to see if they're telling the truth. If that's the reason why they're here, is because they were asked to help locate missing people by their Mennonite social committee.
Make me. Yeah, just make me a perception notice roll.
And what do I roll to fight that?
Willpower influence.
Okay.
Oh, those are such good stats. Perception
So-
notice. Okay. I mean, I did so good.
9.
Perception. I got a 7.
Jack, what does Cheryl read from your countenance?
He appears genuine. Just this is what, like he's on a mission, but in that kind of, I've been asked and I volunteered. Yes, Kevin, literally a missionary, which is very Mennonite. Very Mennonite.
Now
He's
we
on a
need
mission.
like a.
From God.
Well, if you're in a position where you know who took or harmed this young girl, what would their social committee or God ask of you?
There's a long pause. There's an element of discretion. I mean, it's a community of faith. We're supposed to help, right? And
Yes, I'm just
I-
not 100% sure how much well, I'm surrounded by different groups of people growing up, different people that believed in the good word. A lot of them were pacifists, and that was a Glock. Doesn't really scream pacifism.
pacifism in terms of doing no harm to other people. Demons aren't people. And we are called to fight against the forces of hell. Spiritual warfare is very much a thing. Just most people don't see it as this physical.
Is there any scripture quotes or
Oh, shit.
holy tattoos or anything on his forearms or like bicep? You say that he had a service tattoo.
Yeah, he's got a service tattoo. He's wearing a cross around his neck, a little gold one.
Yeah.
Other than that, he just like his t-shirt has a band you don't recognize.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause nobody knows Christian bands.
Not Reliant K.
It is actually Reliant K.
POD before they went mainstream.
Yeah. Even when they went mainstream, there was I was a POD fan, so it's funny that you said that.
Pick a destiny.
No,
Sorry.
Table on Death.
Pick of Destiny.
No, it's not like he seems like overly religious. You know, Mennonites, they don't wear special frocks. You're not going to see a collar on them or anything. But yeah, it's just his jacket doesn't have any identifying patches or anything on it. Just the t-shirt, the small cross.
He's Christian, like straight edge, but like looking a little rougher.
Yeah,
Is that like a good description?
Yeah, like he's lived a little.
Okay. Well, I'm starting to hit every marker of criteria for me to start to talk. What about you, Ash?
Yeah, I mean, you seem okay, if not a little. I mean, Ash just kind of has like, the reaction. I just grew up around a lot of people too, so organized things. Don't mind me. It's a personal thing. Like literally Ash says that out loud. It's a personal thing.
He waves it off. He's like, I understand. It's not something I try to put out. It's a lot of people are wary of the church. I get it.
So, but you're here to help. So and Ash just kind of shrugs at Churro, like they're, he's hitting all the boxes for her too, just yeah.
If your driving force is what you say it is, then we'll be quick allies. I'll share your opinion. There are certain beings that exist that are demons. They do not deserve any sympathy or any mercy whatsoever, and they should be facilitated into the ground as quick as possible. That's kind of where I stand on all this supernatural hullabaloo.
This isn't their home. This is our home.
I can agree with that.
Wrong.
There's a moment and as Ye like walks into the coffee shop, kind of still staring at Jack, is gonna go, so now that you understand my position and Ash's position, you agree that we're on the same side, and I can assure you we're on the same side, that we've only made alliances, however temporary or permanent, with that knowledge in mind.
So I understand these kind of things are usually pretty tenuous. I mean, you have a right to be suspicious. You didn't see me stake anybody. So I get it.
That's fair.
But if you need me, and he pulls out a flip phone.
Flip phone.
If you need me, here's my number. He writes it on a napkin.
Ash will probably take the napkin and just be like, how old school. And like take it and like put his number in their phone and then hand it to Cheryl. And then kind of did Ye act? I mean, yeah, like
It's up to
Ye.
the director if
Yeah.
you actually made it by this point or not.
High or low?
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay, if you want to have made it, then you can have made it.
Yep. He'll walk in, be able to see over pretty much everyone. He's wearing sunglasses at this point and just kind of, there they are. Just wave at the host or hostess or what have you and just go wander over and assume that the only open spot is next to Jack. Are they in the booth? Or at a table?
About that, Jack would actually have seen you walk in because he would have sat to his back to, or his facing the door.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of watches you and he says to Ash, who's the Big Lebowski over there?
Great reference, my dude. You already won points. Scoot over.
As that happens, Ash will say, Jack, this is Yay, one of our really good friends. And Yay, this is Jack. We're not dead because of him. Just like that plainly.
Looking at Jack, she's going to go, tentative alliance, meet permanent alliance.
Yeah, just be like, hey, the name's Jacob King. Everybody calls me Yay. I'm usually much more fun than I look right now. Does he?
No.
No,
No,
does
no,
he know?
no,
Oh,
everything.
does he know? Not
Okay.
yet.
There
Yeah.
were some people trying to
Little
butt
bit.
us. Group of them, and he rolled up on his dirt bike.
Nice, nice. 1 minute, real quick. I'm just gonna wave to the server, whoever it is, and just be like, all right, I need meat lovers, omelet, side of fries, side of bacon with that side of bacon, the biggest Coke you can bring me legally. Like if you can put it in one of those empty sauce buckets or something, that's fine. I don't care. I need caffeine.
The waiter looks at you like you can see that they're questioning, but not like they're questioning, but also they're like, I don't get paid to ask questions, so they nod and they head off.
That's taken care of. He's gonna bust out a sketch pad where he did his best to artistically render what he saw in his visions, and he's just gonna pass it across the table to Cheryl and Ash. That's what came of me being laid up for a day.
Oh,
Does Ash recognize them at all? Like, do they look familiar in any sort of way?
Cheryl, having seen what the Ellises look like, you do not recognize any of these people as the Ellises.
she's gonna take her phone out.
Oh, other than
And-
sorry, let me clarify. If Ye drew the woman who forced the blood down his throat, that looks like Delia Ellis. Everyone else that Ye saw, you do not recognize.
She's going to take her phone out. There's the yearbook picture that says Delia Ellis. Or not the yearbook picture, the faculty staff picture. That's been blown up with the macro lens, and say, all right, so we know. It's going to write underneath the sketch of Delia and go, we know that that's Delia. How many remaining mystery figures are there?
3.
3 mystery.
There was the young woman who was smiling and laughing. There was the old couple sitting and reading by the light of their window.
And this was when Danny was turned.
This was as Danny was force-fed the concoction.
That was late 50s.
Yes. It would have been mid-50s, like late mid-50s.
Was that because John disappeared in 1955 and Ilya disappeared in 1956. So are you saying that Danny also disappeared in 1956?
You got that ping on the computer when you were researching. Danny disappeared in 56.
Right. Thank you very much. So this was 1956. I suppose. Jack, we know who took our friend.
Yeah.
We have a good idea, at least. There's a kooky couple of scientist vampires started cabal.
Kind of vampire eugenicist. Trying to make
Nazi vampires, yeah.
yeah, trying to make
Oh,
a
that's
stronger, better race of vampires through alchemy and whatever other means.
he's like Nazi vampires. This isn't a comic book,
Genesis.
right?
Trying to come up with the ultimate being
Oh,
that'll
God.
rule forever. So maybe not directly like national socialist, but just eugenicist.
He's just
Like early 1900s America.
he just sort of chuckles at that. But he's like, and that you think this is the ringleader?
One of the two. It's the
I'll put
best.
$50 that the woman's in charge.
I'm not gonna bet against you. Of course, the problem is actually finding them and having the right tools to get rid of them. From what we've been able to dig up, they've got their cadre of believers or servants. So it's not just going to be a, break into one house and ash two vampires. It's going to be having to fight through hordes.
And
Kinda-
a lot of them.
Yeah,
Oh, fun.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to save up for a shotgun. Okay.
I'm telling you, bro.
Sounds like
Unless you like get some sort of wood-based buckshot, all your shotgun's gonna do is mildly inconvenience them.
yeah.
And he's like, and silver phosphate also burns.
It does, but you can only pump out so many of those dragon's breath rounds before the shotgun starts to melt.
True. But gasoline, styrofoam, and an empty bottle is cheap.
Yeah, it works really well. It's part of the reason Cheryl and Ash were probably attacked. I did not take the loss of Estia very well, and I was unwise in
I'm sorry.
trying to deal with that grief.
We both were.
So that would explain the bring a gun part of my request to join. You
You're
guys
better.
How much?
were a little hostile.
How much were you actually told when you were coming here?
I was told, and he pauses, a supernatural threat of some kind was happening in Cleveland. I was not given anything other than that. They told me to look for a girl. And somewhere in Nevada, I'm sitting at a bar waiting for my radiator to cool down, and I see her face on the news.
Which makes one wonder how and why anyone in Nevada would have dispatched you to Ohio to look for a girl that hadn't been missing very long. Who sent you?
The Mennonite Central Community.
Oh, Amish Light. Okay, gotcha.
And he just sort of pauses, like, so you understand, the number of Mennonites that know how to operate a firearm is pretty close to zero.
Yeah.
So I'm on a short list.
Yeah, no, I get the short list thing, but you'll pause and kind of look around for a minute, make sure nobody's too close to listen in or close enough to really listen in, and he's gonna be like, well, first thing we can do is give you a quick little educational rundown. Fire, sunlight, some sort of wood to the heart, beheading.
The standard movie tropes, right?
Standard
That
movie
doesn't work.
tropes. garlic doesn't really like if you've got a lot of garlic on you or you've eaten a lot, they might kill you last.
Fair.
But
All you have
that's
to know is that fire is bad and trees are pretty. Okay.
yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
What
You're
about holy
foamy.
water?
Not really my gig. I'm not actually a priest.
Do you have access to holy water or someone that would have access to it?
He shakes his head. It's like, again, it's not really our gig. Mennonites aren't Catholics. We don't periodically bless water just in case.
We'd be better off pulling
We're
Lost
better at
Boys.
finding it coming out of the ground.
Can I ask another question,
Mhm.
Jack? Why? And I don't want to offend you, but why do the Mennonites care? If you're in Nevada, I kind of question what Ye does. Why do the Mennonites care about some random girl to them who
You know,
went missing?
that's a really good question.
Like, yes, the
If I
questions would
find
be
out, I'll tell you.
how did they know and why do they care enough to send you? Because the missing persons report was only filed, what, 2 days ago? And it's not the only one for this area. Unfortunately, there's a large number of co-eds that go missing on a fairly regular basis from this area. So
You get a kind of orders there are orders shrug from Jack.
and you're sure this was the actual Mennonite Council that sent you? Like, have you met them before? And so you know these are all elders or whatever you call it?
It's like, I never questioned it.
He's gonna take a look, maybe notice the tattoo. You served. That would explain things.
And are.
What was your OS?
Reese.
Ranger. Yeah. All right. Well, that would explain why the gun at least still did something.
Yeah, your food comes with everything that is included with the omelet and the sides of bacon. It takes up like a good half the table. So you got your toast and you got your like 2 plates of bacon. You got your big plate that has the omelet and the hash browns and
Busted out
got
the big serving.
yep. You got like a big large. They gave you an orange juice and a Coke just for good measure.
That's not a pleasant combo. Does anybody want the orange juice?
Oh, Manny, you're muted.
I tried to hit my space bar and it was triggered. Ash will take it.
Hand it over and just. All right, so along with, I guess the question is, how much are you just gonna look over at Cheryl and Ash? How much are we gonna clue Jack here in? So I feel like if we don't bring him a little deeper into the fold, as it were, you're probably the most combat proficient out of all of us, but if you don't know the rules, that's not going to do you good for long. And then we're going to have a combat proficient Mennonite vampire to deal with. And that's way too many little things tacked onto the whole vampire situation.
I've picked up a piece of bacon that was put in front of me. Definitely like slowly picking at it. I think that maybe not including you in operations meetings, but touching base frequently, having you hang out with us or be with us for any surveillance or investigations, I think would prove useful. Part of me is nervous, though, to bring you into the innermost fold. Just as
I understand.
things are
You've
hairy.
known me for 10 minutes.
Two other things to note, especially if you're going to be more touching base and we'll be hanging out, not necessarily getting together for block parties or whatever. Vampires have to be invited in. So as long as you're not in a fully public space, even a hotel room or a temporary apartment, they can't come in without your permission. They can still set fire to the place and such, but they can't come in. And holy icons like a cross, when presented with faith, can hold them at bay. But it's not perfect. They can still shoot you. They just don't really like looking at it and they won't get too close to it.
Understood. Faith is my shield. Got it. You're muted.
Ooh.
I even unmuted it. I don't
What?
understand what my computer's doing. Okay, anyways, it is just a shield though, so try to be careful because guns also only get you so far.
Yeah, I know. It's like, by the way, garden supply stores, great place to get steaks.
Oh, way ahead of you.
So is PF Chang's.
Is there anything else that you guys want to ask Jack, or Jack that you want to ask them before we sort of wrap up the night?
I think Jack's like, well, I have a question for you guys. How did you get wrapped up in all this? I'm assuming your friend wasn't the only reason. And he looks to Ye and's like, and I'm very sorry.
Thank you. We all have some pretty deeply metaphysical reasons for being involved, and I don't know how much we should share day one about that. But suffice to say, this is all of us in one way or another have felt either responsible because we know, or that we were called to do it by a higher power, an annoying higher power.
A very annoying, sometimes British higher power.
No, Julian's not a higher power.
Cheryl squints, especially when Julian's name gets brought up.
Also not British.
I said sometimes British, like he's British tendencies.
British.
Yeah, British.
British.
And Ash didn't mention Julian by name. But Ash just, kind of,
Yeah.
that's
Cheryl
very...
kind of looks a little bit frustrated and goes, honestly, I almost got killed because I'm a young woman. Or just an attractive, helpless individual at a party. And then they harmed my good friend. So whatever's right or whatever's revenge, they're more in the same right now. So it doesn't really matter differentiating.
Vengeance is a dangerous road, but justice is important. And
those lie on top of each other. No need splitting hairs. Once they start to diverge, we can have a talk.
then we will. He looks to Ash and Cheryl. It's like, well, you two have my number. Jacob, sorry. It's nice meeting you. I should probably head to bed. I've got service in the morning.
Yeah, fun with that. He'll scoot out of the way long enough to let Jack out of the way and then take up the whole bench as soon as there's room, do the kind of big man spread on it, and just go back to demolishing the calories.
Okay, so we're gonna do two things right now. The three of you, Cheryl, Ash, and Ye, anything you want to say to wrap up the night really fast? Like to each other, touch base.
Are you all right?
I will be. This was unlike any other vision I've had before. It started normally they just hit me like a sledgehammer, and this one felt like more like somebody was just wrapping a knuckle on the back of my skull and then took a baseball bat to it. And now that Jack's not with us, I can tell you that first vision I had, it was when Danny was changed. What, 50 years ago? 60 years ago? 70
Years
years
Even
ago.
however many
Ish
years ago. Ish years ago.
spring or summer of
No,
56.
years
Yeah.
ago.
I saw his face. I saw what they did to him, and I felt the transformation that they forced on him. Every moment of it. And I almost fully saw her face before I caught the, I don't know, bloodborne memories, whatever they were, however they came about. Unless they were like Danny's memories of a girl he was planning to propose to, and his parents. I don't really know for sure. I don't know that I want to show him, because I don't remember if I told him I'm the Oracle.
I don't think he knows.
Okay, well then maybe we should keep these under wraps for now, because I don't trust him. And at some point, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to kill him.
I'm hoping on it.
Wow, me too.
Yeah,
He
can
informed
you
us
make
that the
me-
dagger was stolen.
Yeah,
Can I
can you
make-
make me a perception notice roll?
Absolutely.
Yay!
With a +1 bonus.
So 3. So +5. 15.
Ooh.
I see
When-
all.
Let me remind myself just how good that is. Very good. That's 4 successes.
That was
say
a
4
10.
successes.
Good.
Nice.
Did you add the +1 bonus?
Oh, sorry, 16.
6. I think that's still the same, but let's.
I
check.
think it's still 4. I think it's
Yeah,
5
it's
when it
still
gets to
4.
16.
It's still 4.
But it's a better 4. It's a 4 plus.
It's
not an A, it's an A+.
4 minus. God, we had side note, in elementary school we had check pluses and check minuses.
Same. I wonder, man, that was terrible.
Anyway, yay, you distinctly remember. So, two things kind of connected. These pictures that went through your head were immediately followed by this pain. And then as you felt this force kind of leave you, it didn't feel empty afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I'm imagining that what Ye felt was Danny's soul leaving his body and the demon taking up that real estate, that metaphysical real estate.
You get the sense there was pain of something leaving and pain of something coming in. But there is a third kind of pain that you couldn't identify.
Oh, yeah, I'll just kind of look at his table mates and try not to glare if they filch a fry or bacon or whatever, and just be like, I can say I pretty sure I know what it feels like to have your soul leave your body and something else come in to inhabit it. That's because that's apparent. I think that's what everything says happens to vampires when they're bitten. They die. Their humanity, that soul part of them leaves, and that's when the demonic inhabiting entity kind of moves in and takes over. And I felt the pain of both of those, but there was a third kind of pain involved in there that I just could not parse. And this was above and beyond the dying and being reanimated and all of the abuse that he had suffered before they actually changed him.
I want to say, I found the words to describe what I was trying to sort of help you imagine, is that between the pain of something leaving and between the pain of something coming in, where there should have been a void, there was not.
Okay, so something in this process that they're doing, he like pinches the bridge of his nose and then rubs his temples for a moment, trying to get up the spoons to articulate it. Basically, what I experienced was I've never experienced it before, but it didn't seem typical of what I would imagine vampires experience, like when they're returned. Is I feel like when the soul leaves the body, there should be like a hollow space, a metaphysical void, until the vampire spirit moves in and takes over. But there wasn't. There was something else still in Danny and still hurting until, and even after the vampire moved in.
So it might be different.
It
Ugh.
might be very different. I mean, they were
Does
trying
that
to
mean we
build a
have to
better vampire.
save him?
No, fuck no.
Good. Thank God.
That
Absolutely.
person still is a murderer.
Yep.
People, serial killers have souls. Nearly certain.
I
of it.
really hope this back and forth continues the entire like fucking season. Like, do we have to kill him? Yes. Should we kill him?
Yeah, he feels like he's trying to, justify his existence by who he feeds on, but I doubt that he's actually that picky, that he actually stops and ascertains that they're bad people. I mean, even if they were bad people, it doesn't matter.
They're still people.
They're human lives. Their chance to turn things around and redeem themselves, better themselves, anything like that is cut off the moment he decided that they were food instead.
Well, if he was hanging around with two eugenicists 70 years ago, he's had plenty of time to think about it. The entire
Yeah.
world has changed quite a lot in the last 70 years.
Yep.
So if the 67 years of social progress and arguments haven't changed his mind, I doubt that we're going to save him.
No, I don't think they're saving.
And honestly, from everything I know, there is no saving a vampire. There's cursing them. And I'm sure we've all heard the rumors about that, but that's not really necessarily saving them, because it's not a guarantee that they'll turn things around. And I don't have that kind of magical power. I don't think any of us do.
Maybe the assistant preacher can pull a few favors with his god.
I will exercise the demon.
If he
on
does
that-
if he does that, I will pay you $50.
Not a priest.
So on
Not a
that little
priest.
chuckle, we'll cut over to Jack. You're back at your dirt bike. You're back at your dirt bike. You get a little ping on your phone.
The phone I gave them, or my actual phone?
Your actual phone.
All right. He drives a few blocks, just to sort of get make it look like, you actually fucking left. Circles around back so that he can watch them leave, and continue their conversation. Pulls out a much more modern phone, an actual smartphone. He pulls that from inside his jean jacket pocket, and he looks at the message.
It says, still waiting on daily report.
Potential Slayer in play. Dot dot dot. And then in bracket, and then in quotations, Nazi eugenicist vampire scientists, I think.
Do you write, I think?
Yes.
Okay. And is that all you send?
Full report at dead drop in the morning.
Okay.
And I think he would continue to watch them until they all headed off into the night, and then he'd drive back to his motel room, which is a dingy motel, kind of a really kind of shitty part of town. When he opens the room, he goes like this to shield himself from the UV light that blasts at the door. Second it opens, he closes the door. The windows are drawn. There's newspaper over the window. And then he turns, and as the camera pans, you see pictures from all the houses, Ye and Ash torched. Bodies, crime scene photos from Estia. And then he sits down at his desk, starts the recorder, and just relays the entire situation, like the entire thing that just happened, with timestamps, noted, like, this is what they drew. And because he's got photographic memory, he's just like a printer, just relaying the entire thing to this phone, or to this recorder. When he's done, he takes the tape out, puts it in a manila envelope, and then wraps that in a McDonald's takeout bag. And in the morning, he goes and puts that in the garbage can in the dumpster at the motel and heads off.
Okay. So we're going to skip the rest of the night as you all sleep.
Did
I'm
we
gonna wake
hear did we hear a dirtbag as we left the 2 a.m. coffee shop?
He would have waited at least 15 minutes before you guys, or after you guys left, before actually leaving himself.
Okay. So that's why I'm asking the director.
I would have asked what Jack did.
Okay. All right.
So you guys head home, go to bed. Uneventful night. Next day comes.
Did Ash still come for that sleepover? I believe it was Sweet Wicked.
Research.
Yeah,
research
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. I think you guys have been up for a long time. So, and you've been doing a lot of intense brain involved stuff. So I think as much as you try to stay awake to do the things you want to do, it's very hard to.
It was to hang out and just have a couple drinks, honestly.
Yeah, it literally was just
it?
like have it was just to have some wine.
Research.
If you're having like wine and drinks and stuff, yeah, you pass out like.
Yeah.
We're just
Two
hanging
drinks
out
in.
at Ash's like dorm room.
The research
like-
project is the effect of wine on Slayers.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you guys, okay, cool. So you guys are just hanging out. Yay. I don't know. Yay. You're probably still like knocked at least half out
Food
from
coma.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Partial food coma, partial excessive migraine hangover, because that's
Mm-hmm.
very much a thing.
Oh yes, yeah, migraine hangovers are an actual thing. Yeah.
He would just go down and flop out, and he's like, if there are going to be any visions, for the love of little 6 pound 5 ounce baby Jesus, just save them for tomorrow.
Sorry. I think my light bulb's dying. Something flashed and I was like, no power outage, no power outage. All right. So the next day, whether or not you guys go to your respective classes or not, I'll leave that up to you, whether you want to do well on your exams. Ash, in the middle of the day, actually all of you first, in the middle of the day, Julian messages you guys to tell you that Estia's aunt will be stopping by that night, and he suggests that you just treat the day normally. Don't make any kind of exceptions or special arrangements. Just continue what you've been doing to lay low.
Be cool, guys. Be cool.
Be cool.
Hit the mattresses, boys.
I'll be
Ash,
in.
though.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm not sure. What were you gonna say?
I'm attending my classes, but I definitely have my notebook or my small laptop out, and I'm looking at registries of veterans, trying to find out information about Jack Aldridge.
Okay. Ash, you get a second buzz on your phone. It's actually a call.
Okay. Am I in class or no?
That's about lunchtime, so you're
Okay,
in class.
nope, not in class. Got it. Who is it?
Is your daddy?
Oh, they're gonna answer.
Yeah. So once you answer, the first thing you hear is, "Hey, baby cakes."
And that's just gonna be like, "Hi, Daddy. What's up?"
I have I'm not going to call it a favor to ask of you, but I was wondering, Allison is in the area of your campus today, and I was wondering if you would like to meet her for lunch. And he says it with this tone of like, please.
Ash's smile, like, I mean, obviously he can't see them, but it goes from like, "Hey, Daddy," to like the smile, like, and there's a moment of, them considering it and then realize, and like internally they're like, "I'm not a petulant teenager. We can do this. We can be the grown up," like, and just like, if you want me to, yeah, sure.
I think that I think you'll think she's cool. I think she's cool.
I mean, has she even ever, nope, never mind, Dad, never mind.
You can hear him
She's-
raising an eyebrow.
like, yeah, there's like the like pause of like, I mean, cool is relative. Cool is relative, Dad. Cool is relative.
Ash, I know you don't. I know you are protective of me. I see that, whether you want me to or not.
Oh, I don't care. You know I am.
Look, I mean, I'm allowed to meet people too.
I know.
She's
So what,
not
you want
gonna
me?
replace your mom.
I know what. And there's like a whine to it of like, like that's just like, I know. So what, lunch, dinner? What do you want me to do with her? Get her drunk and have her spill her secrets? What am I doing? There's a hint of like, there's a hint of jokingness,
No, Ash.
I mean, I could.
She's a little off campus right now. I believe she said she's right by a nice little cafe. She sent me the address. I can send it to you. Just, give her a
Or-
chance.
Or just, I guess. And like there's the audible like sigh, and Ash, like anybody who might be watching, Ash, like, pause to take this phone call, sees like the pinch of the bridge of their nose, and just go, or just give me her number, I guess.
Yeah, I can. Sure. And he texts it to you while he's on the phone because he's tech savvy.
Yeah,
He's cool with it. Knows what the kids like.
I'll text her and see what she wants to do.
Thank you, Ash.
Yeah, you're welcome, Dad.
Love you.
Love you.
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And he hangs up.
Aw.
So what do you do with this number?
Ash is literally going to screenshot the text from their dad and send it to Cheryl and Ye and be like, I'm going to regret this. And then
If
text Allison.
you need backup, just let me know. I can come and make things even more uncomfortable so she goes away.
You get a text back a couple minutes later saying, "Hi. Thank you for responding. I'm actually here." And she texts you the address of the cafe. I think it's just a couple minutes off campus. I would love to meet up if we could.
Sure. Have you eaten?
Not yet, no.
Lunch?
Absolutely. Exclamation point.
Okay. Be there in 20. No, it would absolutely take Ash like 5 minutes to get there, but just
5
gonna
minutes to
make-
get there, 15 minutes to mentally prepare.
yeah,
5 minutes to
like,
get there,
just-
5 minutes to pace, 10 minutes to rehearse.
So Ash will take a little text, with and Cheryl. Obviously, they have their location on. We already established that a couple episodes ago. And just, be like, yeah, well, how this goes, I guess. And Ash will just kind of be like, the dream still weirded me out because Ash, I think Ash told them about that. I think Ash did. Yeah, Ash was. Yeah,
mentioned
Ash
it
did. Yeah,
in
briefly.
the
Like, yeah.
group text.
I'll try not to hold Dream Allison against real Allison, I guess. Let y'all know with GIF of that oh my god,
GIF.
what is his name? What is no like the GIF. Yes, I said GIF. Leave me alone. The awkward the guy, the older guy who's like with the smile. Yeah.
Oh, that guy,
Awkward,
yeah.
awkward Harold.
Yeah, awkward Harold. It's awkward Harold. That's exactly what that is. Yes.
Okay. So you take your own sweet time getting to the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get there through the window, you recognize Allison sitting with her back to the door. She has medium length dark blonde hair. You remember from first meeting her, she has these striking blue eyes and very understated makeup, generally all around very beautiful.
Like, I don't know if we established this last time, like Cheryl levels of beautiful, or just because
not
there's
like
Cheryl
smoking
and then there's
hot.
Ash, but there's that in between too, because they're both levels of attractive, both Cheryl and Ash. So Allison
Cheryl
somewhere in the middle.
Mechanically, Cheryl is what, 3, I think.
She is 3 plus, yeah.
3 plus. Ash is what, 2?
I believe so, yes.
So I would say, mechanically speaking, Allison is also a 2, but it's different kinds of
Okay.
attractive.
So
if that makes
mechanically
any sense.
attractiveness, yes. Like Ash is that
Yes.
like very not very, but like pretty gender fluid, androgynous type of like attractive,
Mhm.
you know, of okay.
She
And
is
Allison is that like
very
traditional.
graceful femme, but not
Mhm.
like very very like elegant femme as opposed to like girly femme.
Okay, gotcha.
Sophisticated.
Yeah, like not as fit, like not like Cheryl sophisticated, but like
Oh, interesting.
you know, um, you know, educated and intelligent and like you know, let kind of like in the dream, you get that same sort of genuine vibe from her. She has
Okay.
that sort of countenance about her.
Okay, and her back is to me. Yes.
Yes. I
Ash
guess
will
what she
take
doesn't have is like that southern posture that Cheryl has.
that undeniable confidence that Cheryl has.
Yeah.
Ash will take a moment outside and like, you know, cinematically, you know, just kind of watch Allison for not in like a creepy way, but just for like probably 45 seconds to go, like watch Allison from outside to kind of see what she's doing when nobody is looking, quote unquote.
She has like a binder with her that has like a decently thick amount of paper in it, and it looks like it's full of documents and things that she is going over with like a highlighter and circling some stuff. Your dad did mention that she is a social worker, so it looks like she may have been at the cafe to get a little work done.
Okay. Ash will just, you know, kind of take a deep breath and there's a smile that's like immediately just like because like Ash sometimes has a little bit of an RBF happening, right?
Who doesn't anymore?
Right. So there's like a when like they open the door and kind of like smile and go up and just go, Allison.
She looks up and she goes, "Hi, Ash. Hi, thank you for meeting me. Please have a seat." And she gestures to the chair across from her.
Ash was already on their way to sitting, just FYI.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
And she says, I had them get another menu, so feel free. I actually wanted to talk to you about some stuff.
Oh, okay. I mean, Dad just said you were in the area, so what's up?
I I feel like we got off on the wrong foot the last time we met. I did tell your dad that it was a little maybe cheesy and sudden to just kind of show up. And I wanted to apologize and try to make amends.
Ash is like kind of
So
looking over the menu a little bit and just kind of be like, amends? And there's like a in their head, they're like, what are we in the 12 steps? Like, you know, just she's like, yeah, it
Whoa.
was weird.
so if you'd like, and I have a feeling you would, you can interrogate me, so to speak. I have nothing to hide.
Interrogate you, and it's a genuine it's a genuine chuckle, not like that like disbelief that happened at dinner when they first met. You know, and Ash is like, that's a little weird.
Don't tell me you don't want to grill me about everything that your dad hasn't mentioned.
I mean, yeah, but
And I know you have plenty of questions yourself. I mean, who wouldn't?
Okay, you sure?
Absolutely.
Ash very briefly wishes that this had been a let's get her drunk and reveal all moment, but it's lunchtime. um, so Ash will be like, okay. And before they get started, Ash will put their order in with the server who comes over. And they'll just order if there's like a turkey type of sandwich with like some salad.
There's like a turkey
it's a
club,
cafe.
there's
Yeah,
a
like it's a
turkey
cafe. Like it's a
Reuben, yeah.
it's a sandwich with some salad and it's turkey.
Yeah.
Like and also they will order a quadruple espresso over ice with some milk on the side.
Okay.
Because they are tired with a capital T.
You got it. So Allison closes the binder she was working on, sets it in the nice sort of pleather tote bag that she keeps her work things in that's beside her chair, and she says, ask away.
Okay. Why my dad?
I mean, you know your dad. Why not your dad?
What?
That's a non-answer. And also kind
she
of weird.
You know your
wasn't
father.
done.
He's so hot.
She wasn't done. Jesus. Let the woman
Jesus.
talk.
Oh no, Ash absolutely will interject and be like, weird. Keep going.
Okay. It definitely wasn't a single thing. He's got an amazing mind, and the things he creates with his hands are a work of art. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty good looking, but that's not the whole point. Your dad is a wonderful man, and I was captivated by him.
I mean, the things he creates are kind of half there for him already, but I'll give you that they're pretty beautiful when it's done in there. Okay. But like have you even seen what he does when he does his thing?
I've seen his work. I've visited him at his shop, which, I mean, I don't pretend to know a lot about cars, but I see the cars that come into his shop, and I've seen what they look like when they come out of his shop, and that's his handiwork, and it's amazing, quite frankly. It takes an artistic vision, regardless of the medium in which you use your creativity.
Okay, but like you don't even like cars, so
I never said I didn't like cars. I said I didn't know a lot about cars. I can appreciate a car.
Ash just kind of has a moment where their eyes narrow and they have this urge to do that. Oh yeah, you like such and such band? What's your favorite song?
Gatekeeping.
Yeah, like Ash has like that slight urge to gatekeep the cars that their dad fixes up. And like it's probably actually pretty visible on their face. Like it's like they don't hide it, right? That like narrowing eyes a little bit. But saved by the server bell a little bit there. And after the server drops off their food, Ash, before they take their next bite, they're like, all right, fine. Yeah, my dad is cute, I guess. And I mean he's good with what he does. But okay, like that's all kind of superficial, Allison. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not. I said he has a wonderful mind. And if you're going to ask why I'm still with him, that's part of it. I mean, he's genuine, creative, honorable. He is a good handyman, but he's a good conversationalist too. I mean, I genuinely enjoy his company. Is that so wrong?
No, but he's so much. And I just want to say it like he's so much older than you are. Why?
I mean, why? I am well into adulthood. Age matters less and less the older you get.
Like a
Why?
grimace around turkey, as she says.
Why? Why should age? I won't. Okay, granted, it is weird when you get to a certain level of age gap, but I don't feel wrong being with your father. In fact, I feel more comfortable than I have in any relationship. And I think something that's important to understand is that we are in the beginnings of a relationship. There is no heavy commitment yet.
But if
We
it's the
are
beginnings of a relationship, why does he want me to meet you for lunch and why do you care?
maybe because he cares. Because he likes to share everything in his life with you, regardless of how new or old it is. Because he loves you. And he wants you to like me because he likes me. And he hates the idea that you would hate something that he loves.
He left. There's like a actual like record screech. Like
I
right
say
there.
loves in a not like love term. Pardon me, that was a semantics mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Damage is done.
Yeah, damage is done.
Yeah, Ash is just gonna like file that away for later, for talking to their dad a little bit. But that's just whoop, right in the folder. Okay, yeah, my dad is smart and he wants me to like what he likes. I mean, the hell, I learned how to change my own oil by the time I was 12, but it just doesn't. Fine, I get it. Get it. Okay, yeah. I mean, that all sounds reasonable. So, like, I guess if he wants me to like you, I guess he wants you to like me. We're here. So, what has he even told you about me? I don't even know what you know. Hi, my name is Ash Lexington. I'm 21 years old, a student at, Ohio State Cleveland. What else?
Well, he told me you work at the Inflata Park. That sounds fun. I know the two of you are very close, that he loves you very much. He talks about how pretty you are and how you look like your mom. He talks about how you're wild at heart and love to be free and have fun. He, mentions that you're smarter than you let yourself believe. He really loves you.
Sounds like dad stuff to me.
I think he also thinks there's something you're not telling him, but I won't press my curiosity. Just, I think he worries.
I tell him what he needs to know, what dad wants to hear, that their child parties too much and might be failing poly sci 3 and like he doesn't want to hear that. Like, I'll figure it out. No, this is definitely like a pause there because like duh, Ash is lying. But there is an element of truth to that too. Like, Ash does not tell their dad how much they truly party. But just he doesn't want to hear about, oh yeah, I got too drunk on Saturday and had to stay out, or I lost my friend in the woods, or whatever.
You lost your friend in the woods?
It's not really, just an analogy.
Oh, okay.
Nice save.
I suspect he suspects the partying, but when you left suddenly at that last brunch, he was really worried.
Right. Listen, I already apologized to him for that. Just, life is hard as a college student, right? You got things going on.
Okay.
Are you here to dig for him? Why are you here?
No, I care about him, and I care about whatever relationship we can forge, be it acquaintances or, friends or whatever. I know that you're not obligated to like me, but I would like to hope that we can have more than, shallow cordiality to the way we interact.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. So if nothing else for him. And I guess for us. Ash is used to having very surface level relationships with a lot of people, so it's not as bothersome to them sometimes, but they understand the need to have more in-depth relationships for people. I guess
Anything else?
I mean, we're having lunch. Can have lunch, I guess.
Yeah, let's have lunch. Everything looks good. And she, takes a sip of her, probably Sprite.
I just probably moved on to their salad, and they're probably like digging around their salad a little bit, like how you do like when you're like like shove, poke, shove, poke, shove, poke type of thing. They get like a big bite, and they're like, so and like they probably like look at the ceiling a little bit, that like do and like, so social work.
We're going to cut from that scene.
Yeah, there's nothing really that much more important.
awkward attempt to get to know each other, and fast forward a little bit. If you guys would be willing, because we started late, if you'll be okay with one more scene.
Yeah, I'm fine with that if everybody else is.
Absolutely.
Yep. Sounds fun.
Okay. So Ash and Allison have this lunch meeting. The rest of the day resumes afterwards. Eddie, Cheryl said that she's looking through veteran records.
Yeah, just like any records of people that have served. Was listening to when Jacob asked about who he served with and his tattoo and where he was deployed and has his name.
Okay, give me a perception computers roll.
Perception computers. Okay. Make sure I have the right thing. That is a 10.
Okay. You kind of stumble into like a Google image search, whittling down of like the tattoo that he has, and you get like very surface information of like he, you confirm he served in what was it, Kandahar?
Yeah.
In Kandahar, and basically you confirm everything that he already told you, but you don't really get any more than that.
Has no records since his time serving.
Well, he hasn't served in how many years?
It would be at least 4.
Yeah, but there's no social media presence at all.
Doesn't have Bookface, doesn't have Bird app. You get you find a picture of him in like a veterans group, and it's just like a big picture of his unit, those big sort of group pictures, and he's in the back.
And the local Mennonite church. Any information about them?
Small church. You get a
yeah.
Facebook page or Bookface page.
Okay.
Lots of bake sales, outreach programs. There's one specific to the homeless population. Homeless outreach is one of that church's particular drives.
Their bake sale does have killer reviews.
And there was a service this morning, correct?
Is it during the week?
Yes.
This is
No.
Tuesday, I believe.
Jack said last night that he has to get up for
Yeah.
service in the morning.
He lied. He's a vampire. Take him.
Yeah, there's no church service.
Get 'em.
Church services would be Sunday, but there's
Mhm.
a young adults meeting, in the evening.
Tonight.
And that's what you find.
There's no post about them welcoming on a new member of their team, I suppose.
Nothing yet. It's also a very, very, when I say assistant associate youth pastor, that's a really minor position. Like,
I know,
to the
but
point that in 90% of churches it doesn't exist.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's nothing specific. I mean, if anything, you would assume it would have been in the last few days. This website gets updated every couple of weeks.
Okay. Probably going to put a Google alert up for any
MCC
mention
does.
of his name or that local chapter. And is going to in other tabletop systems, there is something called long-term project. And chat keeps mentioning it every once in a while. How do I mechanically get tapped into the dark web?
You would need to make oh goodness. It's a crime roll, but what do I want to use?
It's a crime roll.
The
The dark web isn't necessarily criminal behavior.
Cheryl crime? Who would have? No.
Let's make it an intelligence crime roll.
Can I include computers?
Nope.
I mean, it is the dark web.
It's okay. How about this? Make me an argument as to why you should get a bonus because you have computers.
Because I need to ensure that I have the right Tor browser to get into the dark web, to ensure that all of my ports are not associated with my actual computer. I need to make sure that I don't get absolutely locked out of any of my things and my personal financial details. I need to be very careful and technologically minded when accessing the dark web.
Okay, in that case, you're gonna make me 2 rolls. You're
All
gonna
right.
make me you're gonna make me an intelligence computers roll to
All
do
right.
all of that shit first,
All right.
and then an intelligence crime roll to get to the dark web.
All right. I'm gonna buy a burner computer that does not have any of my personal information on it.
Okay.
I will never type in my identifying marks. Just a fun thing for you folks at home. Go to a library. Do not use their public Wi-Fi. Do not put in any of your personal information if you're going to access the dark web for any reason. And she's going to do a intelligence computer roll.
Do not try this at home, kids.
That is a 9. So that is one level of success.
You get a burner. It's really bad, and then you definitely forget to go somewhere with public Wi-Fi.
I have 3 levels of nerd. Can I stack that on?
You can.
I've referenced Mario Kart before. It's a part of my character.
That's why it was Mario Kart and Harry Potter combined.
I'm thinking. You get a burner. Say that you do remember to get on public Wi-Fi. It still asks you to log in.
To the dark web?
No, to the public Wi-Fi. They want your email.
All right, I create a throwaway email account.
Completely legitimate account at gmail.com.
I go to Proton Mail and I create a random email address from scratch.
Okay.
Absolutely. Proton
Okay.
Mail. Only
You
use us if
have-
you're committing a crime.
You have the absolute basest of security setups.
All right.
You definitely do not remember to check, like your browser setups or like any of that stuff. But you did remember the big stuff like the burner computer and the public Wi-Fi and the fake email.
Okay.
Now make me that crime roll.
All right, crime.
Dark web. Roll for dark web.
You prepared, but can you find it?
Dark web.
Can I add nerd to this as well?
No.
All right.
Nerd is
Nerd is just
something-
like the requirements for entry.
Yeah.
All right. That's only a total of 10 then.
You find forum posts that talk about the dark web, but you can't seem to find like an access point. You're like, how are all these people getting on the dark web? Like everyone knows about the dark web, but there's like, where's the dark web?
I just watch YouTube videos that are like that iceberg picture, and it's just like different versions of the dark web. And I'm like, this is why I leave this to other more. And kind of just looks around, and she's gonna look and think about all the incredibly nerdy guys that she knows. And she's gonna go, I'm just gonna have to talk to a boy about this, I suppose. Or sorry, a young fellow that spends way too much time in front of a computer.
Oh no.
Okay, well, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to do that another day. Because
Oh, she just starts going through her contacts that she blocked.
that she blocked.
Or they're all under code names for various sins that they committed
Mhm.
against her, like weird breath, ugly glasses.
Before long classes are over, and it is around the time that Julian mentioned that Estia's aunt, whatever, would be coming back to the office, or coming to the office for the first time, I guess, in her case. So Julian heavily implied that you should all be there.
I'll show up. Keep an eye out
Ah.
for Danny.
He will also show up and be keeping an eye out for Danny and
Ash.
Kip, just in case.
Ooh, and Kip. Ash, for once in their life, is early. With
Suppose I
coffee
might have
for
a-
everybody.
I might have a question. The spell revoke invitation. That requires going to every corner and hammering it across, right? Or is that like I can imagine a space and I can cast it? Because I know in the episode they like sage everything and tap crosses and holy symbols in certain places throughout Buffy's home, but if mechanically I do not need to have access to the entire space,
Don't you
that
have
would
to
be
live there too?
well. I don't know if
That's-
anyone needs to live there.
I think it needs to be like the owner of the space, not owner, but like somebody who claims
Someone
the
who
space
actually
as theirs.
lives, because a rented space doesn't quite count unless you're like habitating it. And
I will refer
not.
to in season 2 when Angel says that the only reason he's allowed to enter the school is because he said all who seek knowledge may enter.
Right. It's somebody who claims that they it's like they claim the space,
Right.
I think.
Mm,
As
yeah. So if they had a bum living in the basement, he could claim the entire place, and all the vampires would be fucked. This is my home. You stay out of the boiler. I'll throw a rat at you.
So the book version does
Alright.
not specify. It
But
Does not
director's
spe- so
version
director,
says...
what is required?
Yeah, I was like, but the director says.
I'm going to say it will require the person who allowed the vampire in to revoke the invitation.
That makes
Really?
You have
sense.
to talk to Julian.
That is all right.
Can't do it
All right.
behind his back.
I won't try anything. We'll talk offline.
Yeah.
That's some power gamer language for gonna try and get my way.
God,
Back to the scene. Cheryl walks
power
up,
gaming
accepts the
even
coffee.
Buffy. Yeah.
Uh.
So actually, as Ash gets there early, Estia's aunt, Eugenie, is already there.
Oh man.
Trying to show up the vet.
No, Ash just wanted to be there before she got there.
Julian is going through his books looking for anything else that he doesn't recognize, which is taking a couple days because he has so many books. Eugenie is just leaning up against Julian's desk. Her arms are crossed, but not in like a standoffish way. And when she sees you, she actually kind of lightly smiles and she says, "Hey there, Slayer."
Hey there too, Slayer.
It's okay. You don't have to. You don't have
Okay.
to do that if you don't want.
All right, cool. That was weird.
Yeah,
Coffee?
it was. Sure.
Okay, because Ash didn't know what she drank, so Ash just kind of got a black coffee.
That's
for
That's fine. She takes it and she, takes a sip and she's like, "Sure." And then, takes another sip.
we should
And
we should wait for everybody, and Ash just kind of like looks at her a little bit like, or
I actually wanted to talk to you about something.
okay.
And she walks over to the door to the training room, which is open. And she just kind of gestures with her head to sort of follow her into the training room.
Okay.
Punch in the face.
Ash will follow, but with a look at Julian, like make sure that Julian sees them going into the training room, because Ash is pretty sure that Azizan could kill her if she wanted to. So just like you see this happening, right?
Yeah, Julian nods and he's like, it's almost kind of like Eugenie and Julian had a talk before all of this is going down. So Julian, I almost said Julian. Julian is in the loop, basically, is what it seems like.
Okay.
So Eugenie grabs a stake from one of the training, like the weapons tables, and she walks out into the center of the mats and looks at you, waiting for you to join her.
Do I need one of those too, or
No. No.
Okay.
She says, come here. I need to talk to you about something.
Not comforting, but Ash will just kind of like, and that said out loud, but Ash will just,
And
step out
being
there.
with her again is really uncanny because she looks like an older Estia.
Right.
She has the same eyes, the same jawline, the undyed version of Estia's hair. But a different countenance.
Yeah, I mean, Ash is it's unnerving. Like Ash is unnerved, and it makes them nervous. Just like okay, Just like, does Eugenia blame them for, Estia's death? There's a whole lot of questions going through Ash's mind, but they're like, sure. And internally, they're like, let me walk towards the angry lady with the stake. Yep, great plan, Ash, great plan.
So, she doesn't move, actually. She just lets you come to her at your own pace. And she looks at you kind of like she's looking you over, but not in a scrutinizing way, more in like a assessment kind of way. And once you're there, like face to face with her, she goes, nobody's ever wanted to be the Slayer who's been made the Slayer. Not once they know the truth about the job. I get it. I really do. And being trained and ready for the role doesn't always make you a better Slayer. And she will very lightly, like swing at you, like enough that you could obviously block her, but she is essentially kind of testing your responses.
Okay. I mean, Ash will just instead of blocking her, just very lightly like shift. Like
she says, good. And then she goes to sweep your feet. What do you do?
Probably skip backwards.
Okay. She does a roundhouse kick.
High or
about
low?
At the high, about the level of your head.
Okay. A duck.
She will start essentially fighting you, but in a very in a way that almost seems like a dance between two slayers, or between two ballerinas. One is older and ready to retire, and one is new and ready to take up the mantle. But there is sort of a disjointed clash between them. And she will dance you around the mats until she has you cornered in the center again. But she doesn't trip you or make you fall. She kind of freezes you in the center, kind of locked between one of her arms. And then she lets you go. And she's face to face with you again. And she says, hold out your hand.
Was this like hard for Ash to do? Was it relatively easy? Like,
it was, she had you on your toes, but she didn't use her full abilities because she would have creamed you.
Okay. But so Ash is probably like a little out of breath. Like,
Yes. She's testing your skill level, basically. And
Okay.
she danced you around the mats around the training area. She probably used a couple of the punching bags to create obstacles, but she has herded you back into the center. She is unfazed. Her breathing is fine. She looks cool and collected. Ash is, a little out of breath and trying to absorb everything that just happened, because I imagine they were very fight or flight during all of that.
Yeah, like it's at some point, like at first they were like confused and like wasn't sure what was going on, but then like instinct kicked in. So they just were like, yeah, okay.
So she says, hold out your hand.
Okay, so Ash, out of breath, will just kind of. Is there an indicator of which one? Does it matter?
Any hand.
Okay, Ash will hold out their left hand.
She had put the stake in like the breast pocket of her jacket. She takes it out and she holds it against your palm, pointy side to the palm, kind of implying that she wants you to balance it in your palm. And then she removes her finger.
I mean, I guess Ash will try.
She make me a dexterity doubled.
Just dexterity, nothing added.
Yeah, dexterity twice.
Okay, where dex? Do I just roll it twice? Do I put anything in the modifier? I never remember how to do it twice on the.
Just click on the word dexterity, and I think it rolls double for you.
Does it?
I think that's what it should do.
It comes in input value modifier 0.
Oh, just hit submit.
Okay, I think it just does it once. Oh, nope. It does it twice. You're right.
Yep.
Okay. That's a 23, which is 6 levels of success.
Yes. So you balance this so perfectly that it does not wobble or unbalance at all. It is perfectly balanced in your palm.
I probably honestly very surprised. Like there's a surprised element to Ash when this happens. Like they weren't planning on that happening, honestly.
So Eugenie takes a step back and she says, the stake could fall in any direction, and it's the hand of the Slayer that keeps it from leaning too far. But what happens if the Slayer loses their balance? And she basically like slugs you again, but like with a little more force, so that you're caught actually off guard, because again, she's trying to make a point, and this is part of her point.
Okay, but can I try to save it?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Make me a dexterity acrobatics.
Okay, I do have fast reaction time from a Slayer too, but she's also a Slayer, so does that kind of cancel each other out?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Just making sure. Dexterity acrobatics, you said?
Yes.
Or acrobatics dexterity?
Either.
Okay. That is a 13. 3 levels.
Okay. You dodge, but the punch was actually a distraction, and she swipes the stake out of your hand and it clatters to the floor, and she says, the stake falls when the Slayer loses their balance. And when you lose your stake, it's a lot harder to keep the monsters at bay.
Ash kind of bites the lip and wraps their hand around the stake and is like, well, I have your stake. And literally from the floor, we'll try to kind of possibly kick her down, like feet out from under her, like, not cool. Point made. Point made.
She jumps, but she smirks at you and she says, It's not about keeping the balance between good and evil. It's about being the balance between good and evil. When the Slayer falls, the world falls. The Slayer stays steadfast, because if the Slayer falls, everything else does too.
Pressure of the world. Got it.
Not about training necessarily. It's not about how ready you are. And one day you will be ready. But even before then, you have to accept it. Because it's not a job. It's who you are.
Yeah. Getting that.
And that, I think, is when Cheryl and Ye show up.
Gonna wander in, see the coffee, not see the Slayers. Gonna just kind of wander back towards the training area. It's really the only other place I could be. Peek in.
We're like watching a little bit of this, right?
I think you catch the tag end of it, where Eugenie picks up. Well, actually, Ash has the steak.
Mm-hmm. Ash made a point. Got your steak. Got your nose.
Eugenie actually takes something else out of her jacket pocket and says, "Hold out your other hand."
Ash will get up from the ground, still holding onto the steak, and hold out their other hand with a look to Ye. Just like a brief, like not like a full look, but just like a brief, like, eye contact.
And she puts something a little bit cold and a little bit heavy in your hand and says, "You're gonna need this." And then she walks back into the office.
Okay, what is it?
Is
it a
a
new
silver
present?
cross.
It's a silver cross. Yay!
And it's on a it's on a sturdy silver chain.
Okay. Ash will show Ye.
Oh, she got you jewelry. How sweet.
Yes.
You certifiable now.
Official Slayer stamp of approval. That's great. Congratulations, I brought Danishes. Let's
Oh, thank God. I'm so hungry.
yes.
So you guys go back into the office, eat your danishes and drink your coffee.
Oh, then he's just gonna, apropos nothing, he's just gonna start it off. So vampire eugenicists are apparently a thing. It's-
I think Eugenie was in like mid sip and she goes, "I'm sorry, what?"
let's lay that all. Cheryl, you're probably the most articulate out of all of us.
Oh,
If you-
absolutely. She floating out of her backpack, there is a mini portable projector. There's a slideshow. She has taken pictures of and added names, and
like
kind of
scan the
does have like
drawings and
yeah, absolutely, like has like a kind of like a timeline, and has more or less concisely summed up her research, who these people are, the pictures, and then added to make things more complicated, kind of just throws up a picture of Danny, the old picture of him, and the new picture of him, and it's just like looks like he's like getting his picture taken without his permission, like in the cafeteria or something like that. And likely also there's a one last like slide that just says like Jack, can we trust him? And it's a zoom in of like him and his unit picture taken from the social media post and like what we know. And like it's just a bunch of question marks and just being like, so that's all I've been doing for the last hour is just brushing up on my PowerPoint skills. No flashy transitions, but that's kind of
Bummer.
what I'm up to.
She crosses her arms again, leans back against Julian's desk. Julian has turned his attention to the presentation as well and is kind of, getting closer to the projection without blocking it so that he can just kind of take it all in. And Eugenie is looking at all of this information and she goes, that's fucked up.
Yep. You'll be like, in my latest vision, crippling, painful vision, I got to actually experience what it was like to be Danny when he was turned by the first iteration of this new process. I actually got to feel how it feels to die and have your soul leave your body. How it feels to have the demonic essence that replaces a person fill that void, but for whatever reason in this instance, it felt like there was still something inside Danny that shouldn't have been there during this process. Now, I'm not an expert. This is the first death and transition into a vampire that I've experienced. Thank you. But it definitely felt like whatever they were doing has some additional effects besides all of the crying Danny did about, oh, my fangs are wrong and I hurt and I can't feed right. And God, I want to kill him so badly. And not just because he was obviously so bad for Estia on so many levels.
What do you mean bad for Estia?
Before we found
She-
out that he was a vampire, they were dating. They had this very cute, like adorable, like two nerds flirting sort of thing going on.
This happened while I was out of town.
Okay, I'll unpack that later. Why? Okay, so the motive is to make ultimate vampires.
Yep. The Ubermensch of vampires.
Why would a vampire
Want to help us kill them?
I mean, the obvious answers you guys have already touched on. This isn't. No, because no. Because you said you felt his soul leave, so it can't possibly be that. But when all other possibilities are eliminated, only the improbable are left.
But
Jesus Christ.
that part of his soul
Holmes.
stuck around?
I mean, why else would a vampire want revenge?
Well, I mean, they did turn him into like the worst, saddest, weakest vampire there is.
If they fucked him up as much as he claims they did, which I only have secondhand information on that, maybe they got the magic wrong. Just a thought.
They've had 70 years to try and perfect it, though. So, look, we're giving Danny just enough rope to hang himself with. And I know that won't kill him, but it'll be easier to stake him if he's hanging. But I mean, really, he's the best sort of lead and in we have into tracking these fuckers down and burning them, their entire organization, everyone who follows them, all of their research, and anything they've touched to the ground. Oh, and that dagger was stolen. We still need to find that third dagger.
Dagger?
Yeah.
And Julian piped up and he goes, yeah, did we not tell you about the dagger?
Oh,
And she goes,
I'm
"No,
sorry.
no,
Pulls
you
up
did not."
and it just says Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur, and then spins in. There's 3 different daggers. And
Choose your
actually-
starter.
We actually have the dagger show up. That's the 2. And I believe we are looking for Squirtle, right?
Who's that Pokemon?
You're looking for Charmander.
We're looking for
Yeah,
Charmander. We're
Charmander,
looking
yeah.
for strength. We have Dex and
And
Supernatural.
Spidey senses.
We're looking for Charmander. It seems to have disappeared out of this small town. And brings up the clip that was on the news in a GIF format and the location of the museum. This happened a couple nights ago, but we were asked to lay low. So
Yeah,
we've done a lot of legwork.
I took care of that for you. You're welcome, by the way. But
Weren't you 2 attacked by vampires who were angry about this yesterday night? Saved by
Last
that-
night, yeah.
Last night,
Yeah.
yeah.
One Slayer, big city.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
I'm-
Just there's some people who still, well, can't call them people anymore, but there's some beings that still know. But if you've culled most of the herd, we'll take care of the rest if they want to keep pressing the issue.
Yeah,
And thank you for that, by the way.
you're welcome. God, I told her to go to NYU. People are weird, but not like this. I think for once I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
The last time a Slayer worked with a vampire, it ended really weirdly. To be honest, I'm kind of interested. Kind of intrigued. She's
I
going
really-
to
Oh no, go ahead.
she is going to it's gonna be like, can I see your phone?
Who?
Oh, Ash, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
I'm looking at you in Zoom and I'm like, no,
Right,
they can't
but,
see that.
nope.
So guilty.
Yeah. Ash will just kind of be like, and like as they take out their phone, they'll be like, I really don't want to work with Danny. And like hand the phone over.
She quickly types in what is clearly her number and then hands it back to you and she goes, keep me updated. I want to know where this goes. Don't worry. If Danny becomes out of control or something, I will stay in the area. I can be anywhere pretty fast.
Okay.
Mhm.
Ash has now had 3 separate people give them their number today. And Ash is just like, what is happening?
Not take a bow wow.
Well, one is
Get
her
it.
dad's girlfriend, so maybe not.
Yep. One is a Slayer and one is the weirdo low ranked Mennonite Ranger.
So
It totally
you-
makes sense. Trust me on it.
Eugenie walks over to the door and then turns around before opening it and she just says, this is not unprecedented, but it is incredibly rare. Don't give him more rope than he needs, but don't kill him yet. I have a sneaking suspicion that I need to investigate.
Okay.
And
I
she
will-
she looks like she's processing something in her head that she doesn't can't quite articulate yet because it's still cooking. And she looks at you guys and she just goes, "Call me if you need me. Well, there'll be 2 Slayers in town for a while, I guess."
Oh, the other side is not gonna like that.
That's their problem. And honestly, having, older, more powerful Slayer in town should be a pretty good distraction from what we're trying to do. At least for
I'll
a
keep the
while.
low lives. I'll keep the low levels off your back while you guys figure out what the fuck is going on. Okay?
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. 1, 2, 3, team. And then she just bucks off.
Go team.
All right, do we try and figure out who these mystery people are on the vision, or what?
Well, I think it's really the next step, at least until this is something we should probably keep Danny away from. So we should probably do it while there's no Danny here, and then next time we run into him, we can see if he has any other leads or anything. Because I don't know, it feels like we've kind of hit a dead end for the moment.
That's fair.
Julian puts away his last book of the night and says, "My office is open if you guys want to stay and research. You guys really fucked up your sleep patterns. It's pretty easy to tell. So again, I'm
As
gonna
they all have
recommend
bags like this. What do you mean?
I mean,
So-
Ash is fine. Ash has had about 8 shots of espresso in the last 12 hours. What are you talking about?
So again,
Slowly
I'm gonna
vibrating your chair
recommend
apart.
that you go get some sleep. But I recognize I don't have control over you. So I'm offering you a safe place to be while you're sleep deprived. If you feel like you must continue working."
I need to crash. Not only do I need the sleep, but I've got a appointment at the tattoo place tomorrow, so I'm gonna
Ew.
yeah, I'm just getting some ink. It seems like a good time for it. I
Alright.
will see you all later. Text me or call me if you need anything. Enjoy the rest of the Danishes. And
Thank you
he's
for
just
those, by the way.
gonna kind of do that exhausted but determined stroll back towards his apartment because he is still very tired and still not very healthily processing things.
Cheryl and Ash, what do you do as the night comes to an end?
Well, I suppose I'm gonna try and see if there's any leads on the faces that we've portraits of. See if there's any
Make me just make me intelligence computers again.
that is a 10 again.
Okay. You get a lot of image hits of similar looking young women from like the 50s based on the hair and the dress, but you don't get like an exact face match. So you can really only match the time period.
Mhm.
And then it's almost impossible to match anything to the older couple.
Such a time when nothing was easily accessible. I was just gonna kind of strain and look down at her notes and look down towards that company name that funded the research in the 50s.
Orville.
Orville.
American
Alrighty.
soccer. Nope.
Time to see who was working at Orville and if they still exist.
And we go over to Ash. Last but
Uh,
not least, what do you do
yeah.
to end the night?
Ash will just kind of. Did Cheryl do that research at Julian's, or did she go home?
Probably Julian's.
Okay.
Safe.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. So Ash will kind of watch Cheryl, clickety clack away, and take a look at Julian and just kind of like give him a little bit of a nod. I mean, like Cheryl said, like, he offered them a safe place to keep going if they wanted to, and Ash, very carefully kind of like puts like the silver cross chain around their neck. They're not religious, but it's gonna come in handy. So kind of around their neck, and depending how long it is, maybe like under their shirt a little bit, depending. And then go back into the training room and probably hit things until they are so tired that they just cannot go anymore. Because they didn't, I mean, obviously they understand that Eugenia is in been a slayer for a lot longer than they have, but that was humbling to say the least. So they probably just literally just go till they can't anymore, and they probably end up just like curling up on one of the mats and just accidentally falling asleep. Like they like sat down to like have a breather real quick, and just like just ended up just like falling asleep on one of the mats.
Julian, when he stops hearing you beating the shit out of things, he looks inside the training room and sees you curled up, and he actually goes over to the couch and takes like the little decorative throw off of it and goes into the training room and drapes it over you, and then heads back into the office, and that's where we're going to end it. So
You just stole what I was gonna do, Julian. What the fuck? She's just like got up from her computer and like went to another cabinet that has more pillows and things. Like, the hell?
How dare you out
so-
Canadian me, you bastard?
Thank you guys so much for everything, but especially for going later tonight. I really appreciated that to get all the important bits done. As well as just we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Thank you back, Kyle, for bringing us the stoner half demon oracle, Yay, who takes his visions in his stride despite how brutal they are. Thank you, Mana Queen, for bringing us Ash, the reluctant slayer, who is hopefully starting to accept their I don't want to call it fate, but
They're trying.
accept their newfound role in this world. Thank you, Eddie, for bringing us Cheryl, the sassy Southern witch who takes no shit.
Sassy
Takes no
Southern
prisoners.
spellcaster is what I'm going to start saying. Thank you very much.
Spellcaster.
We got
Sassy
there.
Southern
We got there after how many
spellcaster.
episodes? Wicked. Thank you so much.
And last but certainly not least, thank you, Bison, for bringing us Jack Aldridge on your second day, already revealing not a lot.
I'm revealing
You-
things, whether they're true or not.
for bringing us Jack and his, determination.
I love
I
this
guess.
character. I honestly, I was just like, okay, this is going to be interesting, sort of the not Riley. And then he's just way more interesting than that, which is more of a knock on Riley than anything.
Oh no, but it's not a knock if it's true.
That's true.
Agreed.
Sorry,
Agreed.
Riley.
Riley was
I
so
am.
No,
I've
we're
never
not.
been to-
I'm not sorry.
I was like, no,
Riley.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry, Riley.
You're just a sweater with a gun.
Thank you, producer Kevin. I saw you laughing a bunch. Always makes me happy when you laugh at our shit, our shenanigans. Thank you so much to everyone who watched and participated in chat. Loved seeing that. Love seeing it every time. Thank you to everyone who is watching this on YouTube. If you made it this far, please like the video and comment down below. Tell us what you thought. We like hearing what you think. And give the channel a subscribe, because there's so much more where this came from, including more of this. So with that being said, from the bottom of our hearts,
Wait.
and
We did forget
God,
one
are
thing.
you gonna, are
No,
you
no, I'm not
say
gonna-
thank you to
No, I'm actually just gonna say character art was by Hero Forge, background by Pixabay, since we didn't get to that.
And also thank
Director.
you, Director Chris.
God damn it.
See, and then just let them slide in.
Don't use the Lord's name in vain.
Jack would be disappointed.
Now that we're a religious podcast.
Another religious podcast.
Not on my Christian Minecraft server.
All right.
Praise.
Bottom of our hearts. Please, please, please be nice to each other. And if you have it in you, be kind too.
Bye,
God
guys.
bless.
Bye.
God bless everyone.
Namaste and blessed be.